Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we're taking a look at an TV animated series turned into a movie as we take a look at the Bob's Burgers movie. And stay tuned for a bonus story as we take a look at the history of Aunt Jemima's Pancake House in Disneyland. And if you are enjoying these episodes, I would ask that you please hit that subscribe button, and that way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering the Bob's Burgers movie. So this movie was released on May 17th, 2022. It was directed by Lauren Bouchard and Bernard Demarian. The screenplay was also done by Lauren Bouchard and Nora Smith. The production companies were 20th Century Studios, Bento Box Entertainment, and Willow Productions. And it was distributed by 20th Century Studios. The budget was $38 million, and it did a box office return of $34.2 million. So in terms of production, on October 4th, 2017, 20th Century Fox announced that Bob Burgers would be getting a film adaptation to be released on July 30th, 2017. A script was written by the studios on July 18th, 2018, and it was accepted by Fox. The animation was done by Tonic DNA, Lighthouse Studios, and Bento Box Entertainment, and several other smaller studios handling the pickup work. The decision was to have the film to be hand-drawn animation so that it would match the look of the series. Songs for the film were written by Lauren Bouchard and Nora Smith, and an original score by Tim Davies. The soundtrack would be released on May 27th of 2022, and this was one of those films that, in addition to regular delays in development, was also affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, where movies were being held back. So that's why the delay release date from 2017, unfortunately, to 2022. So in terms of the cast, we have H. John Benjamin, who plays Bob Belcher, Kristen Schaal, who plays Louise Belcher, Dan Mintz, who plays Tina Belcher, Eugene Merman, who plays Jean Belcher, Larry Murphy, who plays Teddy, John Roberts, who plays Linda Belcher, Zach Galifianakis, who plays Felix Verschoter, Kevin Kline, who plays Calvin Verschoter, Paul Rudd, who plays Jericho, and Sarah Silverman does a cameo as Ollie Pesto. In terms of the plot, the story begins when a ruptured water main creates an enormous sinkhole right in front of Bob's Burgers, blocking the entrance indefinitely and ruining the Belchers' plans for a successful summer. While Bob and Linda struggle to keep the business afloat, the kids try to solve a mystery that could save their family's restaurant. As the dangers mount, these underdogs help find each other, hope, and fight to get back behind the counter where they belong. In terms of, there's not a lot of trivia for this movie. It was kind of a straightforward animated sitcom turned into a movie. In terms of recommending, I actually really like the movie. I had never seen Bob's Burgers, the TV series, before watching it, but I thought this movie was very well done. I like how it was hand-drawn animation. I thought the animation was very well done. The songs were not as memorable as I would hope they would have been, but they were very funny and they added to the story development, so I thought that was really cool. And again, it's just one of those movies that if you're a fan of the series, I'm sure there's a lot more humor to it than I probably got. But generally, just one I would definitely check out. It's definitely a lot of laughs with a really good story. So we are going to move on to our bonus story this episode as we take a look at Aunt Jemima's Pancake House. This was a restaurant that opened on August 9th, 1955, and was located in Disneyland's Frontierland section of the park. Created as an Old South setting with a huge fig tree in front to offer shades for the diners. The restaurant was sponsored by Quaker Oats. The restaurant would be served hot off the griddle pancakes made from the famous treasured 4-flour recipe, and the pancakes would be served with, of course, Aunt Jemima syrup. The restaurant was most well known for having Aunt Jemima herself in the restaurant greeting guests. Played by Ariana Lewis, She would greet guests, visit the tables, and send you on your way with a "you all come back now, you hear?" The restaurant would close temporarily in 1962 to allow for an expansion because the restaurant was so popular, and it would open in July of 1962 as Aunt Jemima's Kitchen. The newly expanded restaurant saw a restaurant in both Adventureland and Frontierland, and they would have two doors with each having their own theming to their own separate section of the parks. Quaker Oats would end their sponsorship in 1967, but the restaurant would remain open until 1970. The restaurant closed eventually because they were retheming it and reopening it as the Magnolia Tree Terrace restaurant. So that quick little story about some Disney history. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. I would invite anyone to please leave a comment below on what they think of the Bob's Burgers movie, as well as if you'd ever got the chance to visit the Aunt Jemima Pancake House. I would love for you to share your favorite memory and include kind of just a short little story about what your experiences were. So as we look forward to our next episode, we're going to be exploring the Marvel Cinematic Universe again as we take a look at Thor. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.